find the campus directory, right? And there's the list of all the different stores or all the different buildings and where they are on the map and a big star saying, you are here, right? Verses 1 to 3 is sort of like a map or a directory for this song. Here we have three main themes that emerge from the song. The first is the mighty deeds of Yahweh. I will sing to the Lord, or to Yahweh, for he has triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider he has thrown into the sea. That's verse 1, and the focus is on God's mighty deeds. I'm not going to do this quite in order, you'll see why in a minute, but if you skip down to verse 3, we have a second major theme in this directory or map. The Lord is a man of war, a warrior. The Lord is his name. Yahweh is his name. Here the focus is not so much on what Yahweh has done, but on who he is, his character. A second major theme in this song. And then right in between them in verse 2, we have a verse that's full of me, my, and I statements. My strength, my song. He has become my salvation. He is my God. I will praise him. My Father's God. I will exalt him. And I think the focus in this verse is on the special relationship that Yahweh has to his people, both individually and as a whole people. So those are the three themes. First, Yahweh's deeds. Second, in verse 3, his character. And third, in verse 2, his special relationship to his people. And in the rest of the song, we have kind of three sections that, not in an absolute way, I think there's other ways to divide up and work through the song, but a helpful way to do it would be divide it into three sections that each relate to one of those three major themes. The first section is from verse 4 to verse 10. And this part of the song is all about the past. And it focuses on the first of our themes, what Yahweh has done, his mighty deeds. And you just look through verses 4 to verse 10, and you'll find what Yahweh has done. He cast Pharaoh's chariots into the sea. The floods covered them. But it wasn't just a freak natural storm or natural accident. Because what happened was that your right hand, O Lord, glorious in power, shatters the enemy. This is God's action. You overthrow your adversaries. You send out your fury. The wind that brought the waters to a standstill in the wall formation that allowed Israel to pass through and trapped the Egyptians was not just a wind, it was a blast of God's nostrils. Now, it doesn't mean that God has body parts, but it's a way of saying that this is God's action, not just a meteorological event. God did it. And a couple of things that are worth noticing here. First of all, I've got ahead of myself. The first one is that God is at work. That's the emphasis. It's not just circumstances, but God is active here. And the second thing is that God's judgment on Egypt is part of why we praise the Lord. I think this is significant. We live in a world where talking about God is comfortable only as long as you talk about sort of the nice parts of God, right? He's a God of love. He's generous, sympathetic, and all the rest. And he is. That's wonderful good news. But if your view of God's love and sympathy and tenderness is an idolatrous view, that is, if it has a false God in mind, and those attributes are defined in virtue of a God that you have invented, they're totally meaningless. Totally meaningless. And they're not good news. A God who's just fuzzy, tender, nice, sympathetic, gentle, and ultimately helpless is a God who can do nothing for you, and you do well to be an atheist if that's the only option for a God to worship. But if God is the mighty God of the sea, whose enemies face the reality of his judgment, not not just because God is angry and capricious and whimsical, but because these Egyptian officers, these chosen officers, are deliberately choosing to be in foolish opposition to a God whom they know fine well is a dangerous God to resist. You think of these Egyptian officers. They saw the 10 plagues. They saw the genocidal regime of slavery that their leader Pharaoh implemented against God's chosen people. They saw the murder. They saw the hatred. They saw the poverty and the slavery and the plight of God's people. And they want desperately, more than anything else, to continue perpetuating that evil. You see this in the verse towards the end of the section. The enemy said, I will pursue, I will overtake. It's almost like a military planning session where everyone's just barking orders. Pursue, overtake, divide the spoil, draw my sword, destroy them. These are wicked people. Desperately wicked. And part of the good news about God is that He is able to destroy wicked people. That there is ultimately justice in this world. We live in a world that loves to talk about seeking justice. And there's often this extra term, social justice, meaning whichever sort of pet cause I want to advance, right, in the name of justice. And I don't want to mock it too hard, but what I specifically want to take issue with is the idea that justice is anything less than a final retribution of what we all deserve at the hand of a mighty and holy God. That idea of getting what we deserve is so often missed in the way our world talks about justice, as if just to sort of make a place nicer is justice. It's a very limp idea of justice. But you go into the gang-ridden streets of the cities of this country, or into the slums and slave houses that are present in countries and cities all around the world. You go into the red light districts of the world where evil, wicked men are perpetuating evil wickedness that oppresses and binds many to sin and to slavery. And you tell me it's not good news that there's a God who has power to destroy murderers. That there's a God who has power to destroy the people who deal the drugs that keep people enslaved in a profitable way to them. I'd say it's good news that there's a God who can take wicked men and wicked people and throw them under the sea of His judgment. That's not an embarrassment about God. That is good news for all who long to see the world full of the justice that we talk about, but sometimes don't really totally process as a culture. Think of the text in the prophets. Let justice roll down like a mighty stream. In one way, that's a commandment to God's people at every time. But in another way, that's a hope for the day when God's judge will come. And we do well to direct our hopes and the hopes of all around us to the day when the Lord will come in blazing mighty justice. Not just because that's bad news, but because ultimately that's what will fix this world when God destroys His enemies. So Yahweh's mighty deeds to deliver Israel and judge His enemies are a reason for praise. The second section is verse 11 and 12. And here the focus is not on the past, but really on the present. On a present that is always present, an eternal present, we could say, because it's a description of Israel's confession of faith in Yahweh. Who is the Lord? What is He like? The second theme that we observed from verse 3.